Are your chickens not chickening the way that chickens should chicken? Well, stick around. I'm going to give you 5 awesome tips on how to massively improve your egg production. You're going to wind up with better health for the chickens, which is going to lead to a better quality of egg. Not only are they going to taste better, but they'll be cleaner, they'll be better for you and your family, and also they're going to wind up with a thicker, harder shell, which makes them easier to cook with and a lot better for long-term storage. And you're going to want that because you're going to have eggs coming out the wazoo, or coming out of their wazoo. Somebody's wazoo is going to have some eggs. But also stick around for a bonus tip at the end where I show you something that's going to be a game changer. You'll never want to raise chickens again without having this thing. I won't, I promise that. So stick around and we'll check that out as well. So let's get started. All right, tip number 1, and this is probably the most important tip. You need to find yourself a good quality layer feed. There's a lot of debate whether or not you should use pellets or you should use crumble. Chickens do tend to kick a little bit of the crumble out, where the pellets, they can pick it up a lot easier and not as much goes to waste. But with it already being broken down like this, the crumble is ready to go for their bodies to process, to go ahead and turn that nutrients into good fresh eggs for you. And that's really what this is all about. So I recommend go ahead and go with the crumble. Also, I like to use a 5-way scratch feed. It's got a lot of other grains and nutrients that they need. Also, it has some cracked corn in it, which allows them to get that digestive heat that keeps them warm at night. And it's really important this time of year when things are getting cold. As far as where to get the feed, use your judgment, but stay away from the big brands. There's one particular one that, how should I say this? They supply things for people that use farm equipment. We've used their feeds before. We have not had good luck. It seemed like our egg production dropped off dramatically. So just find a good local feed store to get your grains from, and you should be okay. I like to mix these half and half. And feed it to them daily, and that's going to really give your egg production a good boost to get things going. Okay, tip number 2, chickens don't just eat grain. They like grass, they like weeds, they like things that they find and forage on their own. Around here, we're not able to free range all the time because we have coyotes, we have foxes, and I don't know if you know it or not, but they like to eat chicken. So yeah, we kind of have to keep ours under guard when we have them out and stuff, but we do let them out so they can get plenty of that stuff. Also, you know, we do a garden, and chickens and gardens go really good together. Any of our leftover vegetables like squash and stuff like that, you know, if we can't eat it, it goes back to the chickens most of the time. They turn it into more eggs for us to just cycle it up and keep on using it. They really love things like kale, greens and turnip greens and collard greens and things of the nature. Any of that rich green stuff, they really love it and they need it. It helps them with their digestive health, helps them with their immune system and their metabolism. And yeah, all that nutrients just goes right back into your eggs and you're going to be all the better for it. All right, tip number 3, don't throw away your table scraps. Just upcycle it, turn it back into eggs, and keep your pantry stocked. I mean, just look at this concoction of delicious goodness. I can almost just, nope, ain't doing that. But we will give it back to the chickens. Just gives them something else to nibble on. It keeps their diet nice and diverse. Nothing likes to eat the same thing over and over, day in and day out. So it just gives them a nice little treat. Also, it just allows you to not let anything go to waste, and we're all about that. But there are some things that you don't want to give to your chickens. You want to stay away from things like potato peels. That's not great for them. Apple cores, you know, the seeds have cyanide in them. Stay away from green tomatoes and tomato plants. That's not great for them. Definitely stay away from avocado pits and avocado skins, and most especially stay away from dry beans. These are all toxic for your chickens. Obviously, don't give them things like chocolate. There's no good reason why chocolate should be going to waste in your house anyway. I mean, eat that. That's, yeah, why would anybody throw chocolate away? I don't understand that. But definitely don't give it to your pets. Don't give it to your chickens. It's not great for them. But yeah, just supplement it. Give it to them and let them turn it back into eggs for you. Keep the food going. Okay. Tip number 4 is all about cleaner eggs. Nobody likes to stick their hand in and grab a bunch of poopy eggs, but when you raise chickens, that's just part of it, something you're going to have to deal with. But there is something that you can do to limit how much you have to deal with it. And the way we go about it, we have our hen house set up here with 6 different compartments, and each compartment has 2 different bays, one on the top, one on the bottom. And what happens is your chickens like to get in the shade just like we do. You know, you want to go lounge around in the darkness and just chill out. The problem is they don't get up to go to the bathroom, and yeah, they're on top of their eggs, and that's pretty gross. But by having these extra bays for them to hang out in, they're less likely to sit on top of their eggs and get them all grossified. It's less that you have to deal with. Just makes for a more appetizing carton of eggs once you get them all packaged up and everything. So yeah, just give your chickens some extra bays to hang out in and wind up with cleaner eggs because of it. All right, tip number 5, don't throw away your eggshells. You're going to use those again and give them back to the chickens so that they can use that calcium to make better eggs for the next time. What we like to do, we like to pop ours in the oven for just a short time, enough to dry them out. You don't want to give them back to them while they're still tacky and fresh, because they'll actually start breaking their own eggs to get it. And you definitely want to avoid that. That defeats the purpose. Another thing you can do is get a bag of crushed oyster shell and start supplementing that into the feed as well. And yeah, you're just going to wind up with some nice thick hardy shells that's going to protect them better while they're in the nest, so you have less breakage. But also it's going to help with how easy they are to handle while you're cooking, so you don't get little shell fragments in your omelet when you're cooking and stuff. But it'll also help with your shelf life, and that's a big deal. Yeah, use everything. There's no reason for anything to go to waste. So yeah, save your shells, give them back to the chickens, and you'll be good to go. All right, guys, if you stick to those 5 tips, you're going to wind up with a lot more eggs. I can guarantee you that. And we're going to move on to that bonus that I promised you here in just a minute. You're not going to want to miss it. But before we do, if there's anything that you disagree with, or maybe you have a few suggestions of your own you feel like should have been added, drop them in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you have to say about that. And also, we're going to be getting some more chickens here before too long. The ones we have are Leghorns, and they've been nothing but good to us. They're great layers, great chickens, but they're just a little bit boring. We'd like to see a little bit more color around here and a little more variety with those Easter egg colors and stuff. So if you have any suggestions on what you think we should get, drop that in the comment section as well. I'd love to hear it. So come on and we'll get started on that bonus, and things are about to really take off for you. All right, it's a little bit dark in here. Sorry about that. But say hello to my little friend. This right here is the protein machine. What it is, it's a black soldier fly box. And yeah, all of that stuff that I said you shouldn't give to your chickens, this bad boy is where you put all of that stuff. I mean, just about anything. We put coffee grounds in it. We put all the leftover beans and stuff in it. Some of the extra garden waste that, you know, that is too much for us, too much for the chickens, it goes in here. All those busted green tomatoes and stuff that you just wind up with, just feed it to this thing. It'll turn it into protein for you so that you have extra protein to give your chickens. And let me show you what's going on here. All I did, I built this out of regular plywood, and I just painted the outside and I waxed the inside to keep the larvae from eating the wood up too bad. I built the top out of just regular old tarp plastic, and made a little fence dome just to hold it up and everything to make it good and solid. I wanted it to be lightweight so that yeah, you just don't have to fight with the lid and stuff. But if you look over in here, you can kind of see what's going on with all of the waste. Let me get a little, sorry, shaky, sorry. All right, if you look down in here, you can see those little soldier fly larvae. And what it is, right now it's really cold outside, so they've kind of slowed down quite a bit. But once things warm up a little bit, they'll be back active in no time. We did have a pretty good bit in it yesterday, but unfortunately my wife, love her to death, she dumped them before I got a chance to catch it on film. But that's probably my fault. It was a miscommunication. She says that I don't communicate things very good. At least I think that's what she said. But yeah, she dumped them, so I don't have a good example. Let's check and see if there is. Well, there's a small handful in there. There's not a lot, but there's some. And yeah, during the summertime, early spring, summertime, this thing is amazing. You're gonna get so much protein out of this to give to your chickens. They're gonna be so happy about it. It's gonna be awesome. You can build them out of just about anything, and I'll explain a little bit about how it works. If you look here on each side, there's a little vent hole. That is for the fly to go inside and get inside of the contraption. And these little cardboard cutouts, that's where they lay all of their eggs. And once the eggs hatch, it falls into the food. And the cool thing about soldier flies is when they're pupating and they're just a larva, they eat and they do all of their stuff during that period of time. But once they pupate and get ready to crawl out to mature into a fly, they're done eating. They don't sting, they don't eat, they don't do anything. Their only purpose is to go out, breed, come back, and lay more eggs for more larvae. So what happens is when these guys get mature, they're going to start searching for a way to get out, and they go up the ramp. And when they get to the ramp, they fall over into the bucket. Same on this side. I put 2 ramps on mine just to double the capacity, but they tend to like to go toward the light more often than not. But yeah, you're definitely going to want to build one of these guys, because it's going to increase that protein that you can give to your chickens, and just going to make the eggs that much better. I wish I had better footage of it for you right now, and I will do some more posts on it later in the future and stuff once it gets back going and stuff, and maybe I can add an update on that. But yeah, definitely build you one of these. There's plenty of videos online on other people that have done it, and look at what they have and do the best you can to recreate it. It's not rocket surgery. If it was, I wouldn't be able to do it. So yeah, just get yourself one. You're gonna want it. So another thing we're going to be doing here before too long is building a cricket box. We just want that extra protein to go to the chickens, and we've always wanted them, because we do a lot of fishing and stuff like that, and it just seems like another cool thing to add to the little homestead here. And yeah, what we'll do, we'll raise the crickets, we'll package them up, throw that package in the freezer so that they freeze, so that we can give them to the chickens without them escaping and getting away. Just make it easier for the chickens to actually get all of that protein. So yeah, check back in the future, and we're going to be doing some stuff like that along with a lot of other cool projects. All right guys, well, that's going to be the end of this video, and yeah, I really hope those tips help you get your egg production up and get those eggs into the skillet here pretty quick. And just stick your head in the door once in a while, check out the channel, and we're going to have some cool stuff going on here pretty soon, and I'm going to post as often as possible. And for those of you stuck around, I appreciate you watching, and look forward to seeing you next time and hearing from you in the comments.